Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is another video in Engineers in Progress, particularly on the topic the circle. So this is all about circles, and this is for preparing you to problems involving circles. And the first part would be mastering sketching of the graphs of circles based from the standard equation, and I hope that you can detect graphs or equations of circles from the general form. Though circles are not functions, if we consider the upper or the lower half of each graph, they become functions. So here we go. I'll discuss first about species of a conic. Although a circle is not a conic, but it is only the reduced form of an ellipse because the ellipse has eccentricity less than 1. So when the eccentricity approaches 0, it becomes a circle for an ellipse. So the general equation of a conic, it is a second degree equation, ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. And remember that for straight lines, which we have just finished, the general form is these last three terms here, dx plus ey plus f equals 0. So for this conic, the discriminant is like the discriminant of the quadratic equation, which is b squared minus 4ac. And we use the discriminant as our mnemonic aid in identifying the type of conic represented by this general form. So the discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, just like that of the discriminant of a quadratic equation. So let's name a conic, its eccentricity, and the discriminant. So for a conic, which is an ellipse, the eccentricity is less than 1, and the left side eccentricity is replaced by discriminant, the right side is 0. So for an ellipse, the discriminant is negative because b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So that means the discriminant is negative. So this is the guide, eccentricity less than compared to 1, then discriminant compared to 0. So that's an ellipse if e is less than 1 or discriminant is less than 0 or negative. Parabola if eccentricity is equal to 1, the discriminant is equal to 0. Hyperbola if eccentricity is greater than 1 and the discriminant is positive or greater than 0. So we now proceed to the circle. Since the general form of equation of a circle is free of this xy term, for conics, when xy term is present, that means that the axes of conics are rotated. So we'll consider first this circle, which is not a conic, and for a circle, it's free of xy terms. So it is defined as a locus of a point which moves so that its distance from a fixed point, which is the circle, the center is constant, and that constant distance is the radius of the circle. So the reduced general equation of a circle with b is 0 is ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. From this general form, let's study the equation of the circle so that we can detect from this general form that the given equation is a circle. So based on the definition, the axes are parallel to the coordinate axis, or the axes are translated for this general conic here. But for a circle, we have here the coordinate axis, the plane, 2D first, then the center at h comma k, and this is the trace of the circle. The moving point is x comma y. You just look for the topic in analytic geometry about equation of the locus. The radius is r, the distance between P and C. And imagine a right triangle so that we can apply Pythagoras theorem. The horizontal distance is x minus h. The vertical distance is y minus k. So by Pythagoras theorem, x minus h horizontal leg square plus vertical leg y minus k square equals hypotenuse r square. So this is the standard equation of a circle with center at h, k, and radius r. Then when the center is at the origin, all you have to do is replace h and k by 0. So if this is the circle with center at the origin, radius r, then the center of the circle is translated at x equals h and y equals k when the center, when x is replaced by x minus h and y replaced by y minus k from this circle with center at the origin. So take note that this equation is easily derived by applying Pythagoras theorem, and we just form a right triangle from there. We can derive that equation. Expanding, we have x squared minus 2hx plus h squared plus y squared minus 2ky plus k squared equals r squared. So writing the first two squared terms, x squared plus y squared minus 2hx minus 2ky, then combined all the constants plus quantity h squared plus k squared minus r squared equals 0. Then comparing this equation with this reduced general equation of a circle, we conclude that because the coefficients of x squared and y squared are unity in this case, it doesn't mean a and c are unity, but it only means that a and c are equal. So a equals c, and negative 2h is equal to this coefficient here. Partially, we just conclude it that way. Then we can transform this general equation of a conic to the reduced general equation of a circle by dividing everything by a. So for the meantime, negative 2h equals d, the coefficient of x. Negative 2k is the coefficient of y. So that's why it is equal to e. And this constant here, these three terms, h squared plus k squared minus r squared, is this big F here so far. But ignore this first because we have found that for a circle A is equal to C on the next slide. So because for a circle A is equal to C, dividing through by A in the equation ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. And noting that capital D over A is, we just replace that by small d, capital E over A small f, small e, and capital F over A small f. So it is reduced to x squared plus y squared plus small dx plus small e times y plus f equals 0. This is the reduced general form of equation of a circle. Whenever the coefficients of the second degree terms are unity, then that's a circle and both are positive. As long as this constant will give us, as long as this will be satisfied that the right side is 0. So from this general form of equation, reduced general form of equation of a circle, we conclude that the coefficient of x, which is small d, is negative 2h, so that the center, x coordinate of the center of the circle is negative 1/2 of that coefficient. Then e is negative 2k, that means the y coordinate of the center is negative 1/2 of the coefficient of y. And this small f here is the constant h squared plus k squared minus r squared. So from here, we solve for r squared. R squared is h squared plus k squared minus f. Replace h by negative d over 2k by negative e over 2 from here. Then Simplify r squared equals d squared over 4 plus e squared over 4 minus f. Multiply everything by 4 for r squared equals d squared plus e squared minus 4f. Extract the square root. Square root of 4r squared is 2r, and that's the diameter. The diameter of the circle, therefore, is square root of quantity d squared plus e squared minus 4f, where d is the coefficient of x from this reduced general equation of a circle. E is the coefficient of y from this reduced general equation of a circle. And minus 4f, f is the constant from that reduced general equation of a circle. So the diameter 2r is square root of d squared plus e squared minus 4f. So if you want to find the radius or the diameter, use that equation also. So by studying the reduced general equation of a circle, this means that three conditions must be given to determine the equation of the circle. So this is the reduced general equation of a circle. In order to find the equation of the circle, we must know D, E, and F. So that means three conditions must be given to determine the equation of the circle. Then for the radical axis is any one of the following. One is the line segment when extended joining the points of intersection of two circles. So the common chord of two intersecting circles, or the line through the points of intersection. So this is the first, that's the second, and these are the points of intersection of the two circles. So that means joining them and extending, that's the radical axis. By the way, to determine the equation of this radical axis, all we have to do is eliminate x squared and y squared terms. We can reduce this circle into that form, this circle into that form. So we can eliminate easily x squared and y squared. The remaining equation, which is representing an equation of a straight line, is the radical axis, because that's a straight line. The common next radical axis is the common tangent between two circles. So if you have two tangent circles, then this is the common point of tangency. The tangent line common to that point of tangency passing through that point of tangency is the radical axis. And it is the net perpendicular bisector, the perpendicular bisector of the net distance between two non-intersecting circles. So if you have two circles here, this is the net distance, then perpendicular to that through the midpoint of that net distance is the radical axis. So again, to determine the equation of the radical axis, eliminate x squared and y squared terms from the reduced general equation of a circle. So finally, we have to sketch graphs of circles, light circles first, center at the origin, and then all you have to do is find the radius. There are 4 exercises in this video. Sketch the graph of the following curves. X squared plus y squared equals 16. B, 3x squared plus 3y squared equals 4. C, x squared over 1.44 plus y squared over 1.44 equals 1. And D, 0.16x squared plus 0.16y squared equals 5. For the first, this is already the standard equation of a circle with center at the origin and radius 4, because 4 squared is 16. So transforming that to the standard form of equation of a circle, we say that the center is at the origin 0, 0, and the radius is 4. And therefore, we can now sketch the graph of that circle. And this is the circle with radius 4. Its grid is 2 units. So that's why you have 4 units radius, center at the origin. So that's the sketch of the graph of x squared plus y squared equals 16. For part B, divide everything by 3. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 2 over square root of 3 quantity squared. So that means the center is again at the origin and the radius is 2 over square root of 3, which is about 1.155. So the graph center is at the origin, radius 2 over square root of 3, and the sketch of the graph is as shown. The radius is 1.155. This is 1, that's 0.5, so that's approximately 1.155. 1.155, and the center is at the origin. So that is 3x squared plus 3y squared equals 4. And part C, x squared over 1.44 is 1.2 squared. So x squared over 1.2 squared plus y squared over 1.2 squared equals 1. The fact that the coefficients of the second degree terms are equal, that gives us the idea that the given equation is represented by a circle with center at the origin. So to easily detect that it's a circle, we transform this into the standard form of equation of a circle by multiplying everything by 1.2 squared. So x squared plus y squared equals 1.2 squared. This is now the standard form. Center is really at the origin, 0, 0, and the radius is 1.2 units. And the sketch of the graph of this circle is as shown. It radius 1.2. So that is x squared over 1.44 plus y squared over 1.44 equals 1. Finally, letter D, 0.16 x squared plus 0.16 y squared equals 5. We divide everything by 0.16. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 5 over 0.16 is 125 over 4. So transforming this to the standard form by making this perfect square the right side, x squared plus y squared equals quantity 5 square root of 5 over 2 squared. So that means the center is at the origin and the radius is 5 square root of 5 over 2, and that's about 5 point something. Use your calculator. The sketch of the graph will be as shown. So this is the circle, radius is 5 point something. That's 5 square root of 5 over 2. You just convert that to decimals and locate the 4 points, connect the 4 points with a smooth curve center at the origin. So that's the graph of 0.16 x squared plus 0.16 y squared equals 5, which is also a circle. So that's it for this video.